want me to think. Okay, good. I'm alive. Hello and welcome. It's David here, and we are at the Collab House tuning in to you as you tune in to us. It has been a fantastic day in Vegas. We're going to wait for a few people to get in here. But hello and how are you? Can I see their chats, texts, whatever the hell it's called, comments, queries?
The same way you saw it.
All right, can you monitor? Are you going to moderate for me?
You need me to monitor?
Yeah, of course, dude. Dennis is here in the background. Hey, buddy. How you doing? We got Dennis here in the background moderating for me.
You need me to moderate?
I do. Oh, they can hear you?
It's.
Yeah, how's the Keno wins are tough. I'm waiting to play some high limit with you, buddy. When you come out here, we're gonna do some high limit. All right, this is gonna be a very interesting
How's the stream, Jet?
podcast. And let me just say, we are going to talk about the first day, my first day as a dealer, and then everybody else's first day as a dealer, and what to expect if you become a dealer. As you may already know, our school is damn near sold out.
How's the audio, everybody? I see Alan Toy says
audio
it's good.
sounds good, dude. That's fantastic. We got some new audio stuff right here.
By we, he means I bought it.
Yeah, Dennis bought it. We have yet to reimburse Dennis. But anyways, welcome back. And so let's go over a couple things. One is almost sold out on the Alex's Ruin My Life, Alex Cam Ruin My Life birthday bash. That is quite little. We have a few tickets, the more expensive tickets. It's an extra $20 because we got to move stuff around. There you go. But we have that, so definitely check out CasinoQuest.biz if you're still planning on coming here for that. But if you're not, that's great too. And we also want to mention, if you haven't already, you know, we do have an online craps, some software out there called crapsy.com. And it is free to play if you want to start. Obviously, I think it's $5 a month if you want to get going. And we love it. We work all our strategies on crapsy.com. So there's that little bit of a plug. But we're going to get right to the my first day as a dealer. So I thought I would share literally my first day as a dealer. So if you don't already know, I broke in. It's toward the end of 1991. By break in, I mean that's when I started as a dealer. And I basically failed my, you need to make white t-shirts. I know. Look at you, buddy. Yeah, it's going to be some glizzies, buddy. You can take those out in the back. I know it's going to be hilarious, dude. I still don't get the glizzy things, to be honest with you. I think Jet made that up. I think he's still punking me now. I think it's a conspiracy. But hey, can we twist this a little bit because it looks like you know, all my hair at the top is falling off. Okay. So we're gonna talk about my first day as a dealer, and then we're gonna lead into your first day as a dealer. So if you ever become a dealer, what to expect, how it works. I will say it's not easy, as you can imagine. It's a little nerve-wracking working for a casino the first day. There's a lot that goes into it that leads up to becoming a dealer. Of course, you're going to come to our school. We're going to certify you in a couple of classes. And then we send you to the casino. You audition. And then hopefully you pass the audition. And audition is they put you on a live game, and they see what kind of skills you have. Not every casino puts you on the live game. Some casinos don't use live games. They use like a practice table in back, something like this. There's a few of the high-end casinos, they don't trust you on a high game. So they'll take you to a room in back where they will test out all of your skills. And then once you pass the audition, they will then offer you a job. And they don't typically offer you the job at the same day because there's a whole process. They go through a background check. Sometimes they'll give you a drug test before they offer you a job, but it really depends. They don't test for pot nowadays here in Vegas, of course, because pot is legal, but they test for other things. Not all casinos test for drugs, just the top ones. And some of them do a credit check. Not all of them do, but some of them do. The top level casinos here in town, they set the bar really high. So when it comes to, you know, you can imagine the better the money, the better the money, the better the tokes, all that. You're going to go through credit check, background check, drug test, the whole 9 yards. All right. So assuming you get hired, then you're going to go and you got to get ready for your first day at work. So first I'm going to start with my first day, and we're going to compare it to today's first day. My first day was in 1991, and I started out at the Golden Gate. I failed my audition technically. So the story goes, I went in there to audition on blackjack. They put me on a live game. And at some point during my audition, one of the supervisors asked me I heard someone tell me, put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket. And I had a card in my hand, and I put the card in my pocket, and then the lady got hysterical and took me off the game. She was talking about, so when dealers get tokes back in the day, we used to have these little pockets. I used to put our toke in our pockets, and then at the end we would take it out of our pocket and put it into a box in the middle of the pit. Nowadays, when you go to casinos now, they have like a toke box that hangs on the side of the table, and from there all of the tokes are collected. Either at the end of the shift or when you get off the game, they'd have different protocols for that. But needless to say, so I was auditioning at the Golden Gate, which was sort of a low-end casino back then. It's a much nicer place right now. So if you've come to Vegas anytime recently, obviously the Golden Gate has been much improved. It's gone through some pretty dramatic renovations. Is that a card in your pocket? So it's gone through a lot of renovations. They have like brand new everything. I mean, it looks almost nothing. The front desk part of it is this similar, and where you come in from parking is similar, but the rest of the whole property is pretty much changed. I will tell you the room sizes are still small, and the actual noise the noise effect is small. I mean, is big. So like, if you're someone who's sensitive to noise, if you're coming to Vegas, don't stay at the gate. You probably should avoid most of the downtown rooms because it gets very loud, especially the ones that are towards the center of Fremont Street, where there goes Clint. Thank you, sir. Oh my God, keep up. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're gonna play some Keno. Holy crap, I got my own damn machine. So that's a little recommendation. I hear that a lot when people come here. They end up downtown. If you want to go downtown, just know it's a bit of a rowdier mix. Some people love that. It's a little older school, but needless to say, so I started at the gate. So here's the thing, I get hired, and when they hire me, it's in the middle of the day. They send me down the street. This is 1991. There's no drug test now, because this casino can't afford to do drug tests back then. This was a dive casino. Now it's not, but back then, very divey, like seriously divey. One Fremont Street, one of the first casinos or the first casinos to have like air conditioning and carpeting. I mean, it was a pretty dated place. And so I'm told to go. I take a piece of paper and I go down to the sheriff's department, which is literally right down the street. Zappos took it over years later. That Tony Hsieh guy took it over. But that's where, what's his name? Tony Hsieh, I think they say it Tony Hsieh, but Hsieh. But anyway, so Zappos took it over later. But normally you would just walk in there and then you had to apply for a chef's card. And it took hours. It took literally, 3 hours, a ridiculous amount of time. And I was so nervous because it's like reams of paper you have to fill out. Like, I didn't even have to fill out a resume for working at the gate. I just walked in, I auditioned, and boom, that was the end of it. There was no application. There was no one asked me where I worked before. Literally no one gave a shit about anything. Then I got sent down to get my sheriff's card, and you had to carry the sheriff's card around on you in order to work in a casino environment. If you were handling money or anything gambling, you had to have a sheriff's card. And I have the original sheriff's card. I don't have it to show you here. One of these days I got to get all this stuff. I'll show you. But I was quite nervous, man. I had terrible credit. I had like a repo at that point, and it was really difficult. I remember sitting there, and strangely, I was like the only person in this lobby waiting to get my sheriff's card. And it's literally like it's like, I don't know if you guys have been to like Metro offices or sheriff's office, but there's lots of glass or bulletproof glass, and then you're sitting in this antechamber, and I'm just waiting for someone to come out and be like, "Sir, come with me, please." You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I'm like wanted for anything or shit hit the fan somewhere that I'm not aware of. I was so nervous because I had never been through, well, besides being in the military, but that's kind of a little default thing. But anyway, so I'm in the sheriff's office, and everything goes fine. I get my sheriff's card, and I rode a bike that day. So there was really no bus service back in Vegas. There was one big loop that the bus used to do. And in order to get back to where I lived on Rancho and Craig, was 2 hours and 45 minutes from downtown. It was one bus, and it had a history. It was known to break down and this kind of thing. So 2 hours and 45 minutes, just so you know. Very difficult to take that bus, to get up for that bus route for work, because you had to, in order to take the first bus to work, I would end up getting to work 2 hours early, and I had nothing to do. But anyway, so my first day, I had the genius plan to ride a bike to work, and which I did. So I show up at the gate. I have this bike. And I'm there about a half hour early. It turns out there's no place to park the bike, and there's no lockers. Like, I'm sweating. Can you imagine? It's a 2 hour and 45 minute bus ride. It's like a 13, 14 mile bike ride, and I had no place to put my bike. It was a very awkward day. I had all my stuff on me. I had to pack my back pockets. I ended up. Someone was kind enough to let me park the bike behind the. I knew one of the valet guys. Well, I had met one of the valet guys at school that worked at the Golden Nugget, and he let me park my bike there. And so right as I'm there about a half hour early. I have no idea where to go. The Golden Gate at the time has a really small. So these casinos that are downtown, they have these very small areas for you to take your breaks in. As you can imagine, it's a really tight fit for a lot of these places. Like, I've worked at, I've worked at the Gate, I've worked at the Fitz, I've been in the back area, the back of the house of the Horseshoe, and there's really small areas for the staff. I mean, it's not like these strip properties or properties that got built later. I know, please tell Dennis set dice. You see this, Dennis? Are you following this?
I set the dice. Oh, wait, let me put on the mic.
Yeah, so we will have that, Alan. I could talk about a little bit more, but I'm going to try and stay focused. I'm going to try and stay focused on this. So a lot of these smaller casinos downtown really don't have a lot of back of the house areas. So the areas, it's very structured. Like, there's all these narrow hallways where they have offices, and then they'll have a little room for you to break in. Many of them really don't have dining areas or what we call EDRs. All of the casinos, all the newer properties, places on the Strip, have what they call employee dining rooms. I mean, literally, the back of the house is massive, and there's lots of different services available. I mean, the MGM, for example, has its own quick care for its employees. Like, quite literally, if you get hurt on the job at the MGM Grand, they will send you to their own medical facilities on property. That's how, it's a big sprawling. There's different break areas. There's a dining room area for employees. I mean, it's really extensive. All the new properties have this type of setup, or many of the bigger properties, because they have 3,000, 4,000 people working at any given time at these properties. But downtown, not so much, especially the older properties like the Gate. It was a really small area back of the house. And if you weren't working or you weren't in uniform, you really weren't allowed in those areas. So I had to hang out at the Plaza. I love the Plaza. They used to have this pinball machine room over there where the food court, there's a food court in there now where there's like a McDonald's, a few things. But that whole area used to be video games, like, pinball machines and Galaga, or, all those different machines. And then, of course, it was converted recently. But anyways, so I'm there early. I'm pacing. I've never been a dealer before. I have no idea what to expect. All I know is I failed my audition, and I'm going on. I think I'm going to be working roulette, and I barely know how to deal roulette. I mean, I knew blackjack, and I failed that one. And I really didn't know how to pay roulette. I still hadn't finished my craps class, so I wasn't even a craps dealer yet. And so, and basically everybody that I had met at this casino was a complete bitch. I mean, I don't even know how to put it, but like literally everyone that I had met so far was just not very friendly, not very accommodating. This is a whole different world. I mean, the guy that was the friendliest to me was this guy named Sal Bruno, who was, he was this old school pit manager. And, later on, there was a lot of people that didn't like the man. I liked the man because I felt like he was always at least honest and fair to me, even though he was a bit, he could be a little crude and be a bit, but anyway, so I go to work. I have no idea where to clock in. It was an old school. You had to use a piece of paper, and then you put it into this clock. Any stories with them? No, not yet. No. But thank you though. I have played with a couple. But yeah, I know it's hard for me. I see the pop-up, dude. Throws me off my game. All right, are you watching this too? Oh yeah, he's watching. All right. Dennis is keeping track. Dennis wants me to stay focused, so I'm gonna stay focused. All right. We'll get to some of that stuff later, but save those. We'll have some questions. If you guys have questions for me, feel free. Dennis will collect them. We'll come back to them. We're going to give some stuff away. I have some CUG hats. We got some brand new colors, by the way. All right, so I show up at work, and I'm sweating I'm all sweaty. There's no lockers. I literally have to carry my keys, everything in my back pockets. And we'll show you, and I'm going to explain to you, if you're starting as a dealer or you plan to start as a dealer, how to change this dynamic and really how it works. I'm going to give you guys a walkthrough because I've started as a dealer at 13 different properties with a lot of break-ins, by the way. I've worked at a lot of literally under the radar, low bar kind of properties in my lifetime, so I'll share all those with you. But anyway, so I started this thing, and I'm given to this lady who is literally the most pissed off person I think I've almost, not that I've ever experienced, but quite one. Can you imagine? I don't know how many years she had spent at the Golden Gate, but I'm guessing like 20. She'd been working this property for 20 years, making very little money, as a dealer downtown, dealing with some of that. By that time, first of all, now keep in mind, this was a 10-cent property. 10 cents, 10 cents on roulette, 25 cents on craps, and $1 blackjack game. So this was not the cream of the crop, let's just say. These are people that, for all intents and purposes, you either came there because you're a real gambler, or, howdy, K-Fun, howdy. Or, you were at the back end of life, I don't know. And so many of these dealers, back end of life as well. And this woman was just, I don't know what it was. I think she was convinced that nothing she would do or say could get, this is back in a time when you could be crass, you could be mean, you could say things and do things. And, it was tough to get canceled. I mean, this was a living, breathing body that this casino needed to stand upright and deal, roulette, to some of the worst people I've ever encountered in my life, to be honest with you. But so I get there, and me being me, I get on this roulette game, and she has me mucking. So if you guys don't know, a mucker is the person who works with the roulette dealer and sort of helps clean up the chips, because there's a lot of chips, right? So the roulette dealer will pull in the chips. Now they have auto muckers. If you go to a lot of strip properties, they have a machine, mucks everything. They just punch in a machine, and machine, sorts them and cleans them up. But back then they didn't have that. It was an actual person that would, clean those up. The dealer would push it to this person behind the wheel, and then that person then would, use their thumb. There's a technique you use to actually muck the checks, and you create stacks, and then you put the stacks away, and that's what I did. So now the mucker sometimes can be helpful in pushing out stacks and even maybe setting up bets. But this woman absolutely hated me to help her. She literally, there was a few times I worked with her for 2 weeks, and it didn't get better. It was just terrible. I will say the interesting thing about working with her is that it distracted me from everything else. I was so focused on her not yelling at me, I forgot about the bosses and the cameras and all these other things that go with starting. And because I'm going to talk about that, because that's an interesting part of being a dealer. Obviously, when you walk onto a table, unlike any other job you've ever had, you got a boss, you got a supervisor behind you, you have someone who shadows you, you have surveillance watching you. There's a lot of eyes on everything that you're doing, and for some people it could be a little awkward, at least at first. But anyways, so at the gate at the time, who the hell knew if they have surveillance or what was going on at that place? But quite literally, this woman it was a very difficult experience. I do remember I was just sweating my ass off, profusely the whole time. And the amount of energy that this woman expended, just being so pissed and aggressive towards all the players, it was amazing to me that they had customers. I can't imagine that people came back just to experience this. But then you have Dick's Last Resort. You have places where people are looking for that. But back then, I don't know. So who knows? But anyways, my first 2 weeks, That's basically what I did. But as I got to the end of the day, I wanted to quit. To be honest with you, I wanted to quit. I really didn't see myself as being a dealer at that point. It was a bit of an awkward struggle. I left that, besides having to, ride my bike and a 2-hour and 45-minute or a 2-hour 45-minute loop. So because there were very few buses, they did this huge loop out there, and that's why it took so long. But when the day got over, the food that they gave you a coupon to where you could go, and if you guys remember, the Golden Gate was famous for this shrimp cocktail. So you'd get a coupon, you could go get a hamburger and fries, or a hamburger and a shrimp cocktail and a drink, and that was it. So every day, that's what it was. You were gonna have a hamburger and a shrimp cocktail, and it wasn't a great day. I got to tell you, it was a long time ago. I don't remember all of it, but I do remember leaving there thinking that it was gonna be my first and last day. Interestingly, I did go so interestingly, I did go, I don't know if it was the very next day or the day after, I did go back to school, and I got a little pep talk about the business, and so I stayed in. Not to mention the fact that I had a kid in diapers at the time, so, not a lot of options, right? You have a kid in diapers, it's not about you, it's about them. So I stayed the course, and I kind of worked through it. But I did have my sights set on being a dice dealer from then on in. I mean, for 100%, I needed to get off that roulette game. I needed to not deal blackjack. I knew I wasn't going to be long for blackjack either. I really wanted to. Dice is what kind of excited me. It was a whole different type of dynamic, whole different type of player for the most part, and so I look forward to that. But anyways, all right. So I'm gonna talk about some of the other first days, and one of the most interesting ones that come to mind for me is, and this is actually a pretty good story about the school as well. So in 2017, I went back to school to refresh. So if you're a dealer and you don't deal a game for a while, you really got to come back and refresh. Somehow you got to get your skills, you got to get your hands back, you got to get your mind back, you got to get your skills back. And so that's how I met Alex. And so I came to CEG by accident. I was supposed to go. I had an appointment with another school, and it was a follow-up appointment. I had already decided to go to that school. I'd already been to the school, decided to go back to the school to sign up, and I made a wrong turn. Ended up in Alex's parking lot, and I went and saw Alex, and I saw all the energy and the teachers, everything was going on in the school. And so I was like, well, this is a much better fit for me. And so I just signed up with Alex, and I kind of blew off the other school, luckily. So I fell in love with the school. I fell in love with Alex too. Hey, Alex, business partner, buddy. And so, I went to CEG, and it wasn't long before I had my sights set on essentially one casino. Well, so Alex told me about one casino. I was very specific. I wasn't going back to work full time. I really just wanted to deal dice a couple days a week, because I love dealing dice, and I was a bit of a prima donna, let's just say. I've been a dice dealer for a long time. I wanted to deal dice like I know how to deal dice. I wanted to go somewhere where they would let me just be myself, do my thing, and that was it. And so Texas Station. So I plan on going to Texas Station. The other thing that was helpful for that is there were 8 other dealers at the time that were also from CG that were on their way to work at Texas Station. So I literally got to break in again with 8 other dealers, all at the same shift on the same day at Texas Station. And it's easily one of my best memories. And I think, it's one of my best memories. It's one of my best memories, and it's a pivotal moment in my life, just in general. As a dealer, it's what got me involved in CEG. It's what escalated to CQ later on. But it's quite literally, this is a pivot point of pretty much everything else that I have done to date. Like the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you, sharing the stories, everything originated with, thank you so much, James. Everything originated with this event. And it was very special. So I knew I was going to get this job, and I also knew that there were all these other dealers that I was working with at the time at the school that were also going to be, working with me. We started in the break room the same day. We were all on break at the same time. We all walked down the hallway to go to the game at the same time. Now, I'm a little older, they're a bit younger, they're all breaking in. This is their very first job in the casino. So we show up. So we did our first day, like what to expect on the first day. So one of the things that we tell, there's a few basic tidbits we give you for what. First of all, don't take a bike to work like I did. Don't bring anything more than your absolute need. Don't bring anything more than you can fit in your back pockets. Bring a little clip for your pants so you can hang your stuff on there. Sort of all these little, I say, life hacks for being a dealer, your first day dealer. And, have fun, obviously, right? So here we are. We're at Texas Station. We're all in the back, so we're all in the cafeteria area. We're all sitting around. And, of course, because I've done this many times before, people are just, they're peppering me with all these questions about what to expect. And the great thing about station properties is they don't throw you to the wolves. So when you start, you get someone who shadows you, someone who is an ambassador, basically, right? So if you're starting as a blackjack dealer, you're starting in the pit, not necessarily on dice. If you're starting on dice, it's a little different. But if you're starting in the pit, you show up at work, and you will meet someone who is your shadow or an ambassador, something like this, to get you acclimated to the game. So even if you go ahead and you pass an audition, you're not going to just show up and there's your table and you got to start dealing out some cards or whatever the case is. Someone will shadow you and will help you through that process. They'll explain the shuffle, all the things that are nuanced, that are different. Every casino here in Vegas has some little difference in terms of the shuffle, how they count money, how they prescribe things to the players. There's all these little nuances. In fact, in many casinos, it's shift per shift. So believe it or not, a table game director or a shift manager has some authority. I mean, they can change a shuffle. They can change, how often the cards get replaced. They can get new dice on the table. There's just lots of things they can do to change how the games or how the players impact the games, how the casino impact the players. And some of these decisions are made in real time. Like, maybe they, going up in limits on the tables, going down in limits on the tables, whatever, contract play. If you walk up to a game and you say, listen, I want to play $10,000 a hand, one shift manager may say no, the next one may say yes, whatever the case. But there are these sort of nuances and different policies and protocols that change based on the time of day or the bosses or whatever boss is in play. But anyways, so here we are, back to the start, and I've got 9 dealers. Now, it turns out that 2 of the dealers were going to the regular pit, and everybody else was starting with me in dice. We were literally starting together, all of us from CEG Dealer School, and every single person there I had worked with. I had literally been at the school and worked with on the tables. We all knew each other. We were all friends or friendly at that point. And it was great. And so the biggest questions is, what to expect and what happens if I get nervous, and am I going to get in trouble if I make mistakes? Like, how many mistakes can I make before I'm tapped off the game? And so, these are the things that you would think, right? This is a whole new environment for everyone except for me. And here's what I will tell you. Number one is it's okay to make a mistake. As long as a dealer, you have a supervisor. So many of you that are players, we have more players on this channel. Hello from Macy, hello from Vegas. Many of you that are players, you see dealers make mistakes all the time. And, hopefully they own those mistakes, right? And if they don't own the mistakes, then you have to bring it up with the supervisor. But the role of the dealer is not to be an adversary, realistically, right? I know a lot of people as players see dealers as adversaries, but that's not their role. Their role is just to divvy up the cards, collect the dice, pay the bets. The adversary is the floor supervisor. So if you're a dealer and you're starting, we teach you need to refer that to the floor supervisor. You take no responsibility, which is one of the reasons why being a dealer is so fantastic, because literally For everyone that's behind a desk or pulling something or pushing something or doing anything like this, or you have homework and you have reports, there's none of that as a dealer. You literally take your apron off and you go home. And even on a table, no responsibility. Zero is all you have to do is whip out the cards, the dice. All the responsibility. You want to know who signs for all that money? Supervisor. You know who handles all the conflict? Supervisor. You know what I mean? And in most cases, the dealer makes more money. We leave the rest to the supervisor. Let the supervisor wear the suit and take all responsibility for the game. So it's okay to make mistakes. Now, here is the most amazing thing. If you're a dealer and you take responsibility for a mistake, you get in trouble. Like literally, we teach you to pass it all over to the supervisor. Don't take any responsibility for any mistakes. You make a mistake, that's fine. As long as you refer it to the supervisor and it gets corrected, no harm, no foul. It's when you make a mistake and either try to fix it or try to become an adversary with the player, that's when you get in trouble as a dealer. So it's weird because it's tough to get people to disconnect from this. They're so used to, a lot of us that come from other types of positions are so used to resolving things. You're always wanting to resolve it or end cycle or anything. No. You as a dealer, just focus on the cards and the money or the dice and the money. That's it. Leave everything else to the person that decided to wear the suit that day. That's it. Everything else, easy life. All right. The next thing is, that people get worried about is there's a lot of eyes on a new dealer, and that's 100% a fact. There's a bright light. There's a light over every table. There's a camera over every table. You're dealing with real money and real supervisor makes more money. No. So supervisors don't technically, supervisors, some casinos make more money, but many times here in Vegas, especially on the Strip, dealers make more money than the supervisors. But anyways, good life being a dealer. I mean, Okay, so under the bright light, so you got a bright light, you got a camera, you have people watching you. Believe it or not, after your first, some people it takes an hour, sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is, but before you end of your first day, you realize it's not a thing. As you're sitting there, whatever you're doing, you're dealing dice, you're dealing blackjack, you get over it really quick. Whenever I work a new job, and nowadays I'm kind of immune to it. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. I know what the boundaries are. So, but I will say, the first 5 jobs I had a lot of jobs, I got to tell you. A lot of stories there too, right? I would get these heat flashes. So I would start on the game. I would have this sort of nervous energy, and then all of a sudden I would get flushed, and then literally gone. From then on, I was good. I was able to just move forward because you forget about all that stuff. Even those of you, even people I know who are not extroverted, who don't like to communicate or don't communicate well, it's amazing what being a casino dealer will do for you. Especially in because it's an intimate setting. It's like your home dealing game. It just feels like that. You don't feel like, when you're a player and you're looking at the dealer and you're wondering how they're able to sort of manage people and manage all. Because it becomes sort of like your house. It becomes your table. Those are your chairs. These are your people sitting down. You sort of start to take ownership of it in your brain. It becomes a whole different thing. It's quite stunning. I've had dice dealers who have been petrified. They've come to the school, been absolutely petrified to get on a table and work the stick. Because if you work the stick, you got to call it the hand. You got to have a voice. You got to have presence. And a casino table can have 16 people, and I know some of the most introverted, shy people who can it becomes this is their table, this is their home, this is their game, these are their people, and they own it. God, I've seen so many people transformed in so many ways because of this. You have no idea, but that's a story for another day. All right, I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to take just a second, a little short time out. Are there any questions? Did I miss anything? Or do I see everything flashing across there? I think I do.
You see everything flashing,
Yeah.
but you don't. You just acknowledge. You don't actually answer the questions. I'm going to go back.
There's some questions. All right, so I'm going to answer a couple questions, and then I'm going to get to the fun ones.
Tony G gave us $13.99 Canadian.
$13.99 Canadian. That's How many? I don't know what the hell that is
Anyways.
anymore. Does anybody know what the exchange rate is? It's all over the place in Canada. It depends on who's burning who, huh?
Anyways.
What's going on?
Keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you,
Can't
sir.
wait to play Keno with you guys in a couple weeks and enjoying a glizzy with triple the sauce.
Ooh, we like lots of sauce on our glizzy. Do glizzies make their own sauce? Is that what it is?
It's a hot dog, dude.
Oh, it's a hot dog. My bad. Yeah, I forgot it's a hot dog. Hey, I don't know. Some of this stuff scrolls out too fast. What else we got? Go.
Alan Toy gave
Alan
us $2.34, which seems very specific.
It does. I think it has to do with the coin now. $2.34? Is that U.S.?
$2.34.
I don't know. We got some. The Mint's been printing some silver lately.
He says 4 long years as CEG/CQ Patreon. Need a CQ San Francisco.
CQ San Francisco. I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going on up there, but I'm not too eager to go to San Francisco right now with the way things are going. You know what I mean? No, I don't mean. Is there any? Anyways, I'm not gonna get into the whole San Francisco thing. Woo.
James.
Yeah.
Says
James. Thank you, James.
Love Dice with Davids a couple weeks ago. Why did you guys start filming in the house? I'm not sure. What do you mean in general? Do you mean like the podcast, or do you mean in general?
Why haven't we, or why do we?
Why did you start?
You know what's interesting? So I've had actually someone on Wix also, or someone on one of our other chats asked the same thing. So here's an interesting thing. We get 0 time off, and having this house has given us, so because both businesses, the mall has to be open till 7, 8, or 9 o'clock, and then of course we have the school open till 6. So like me and Alex are going between both of those like all the time. It's a lot. We're up to 21 employees now, and I mean we have all the YouTube stuff and media, and then we have this, and we do consulting, we have a school. And so having the house lets us film during the day. Like the businesses can be open and managed, and then we can film here. And we wanted a space that everybody was really comfortable with. We ended up with the worst landlord ever recorded and the worst property management company. I can't wait to post that. You have no idea. If you guys have been following us for a while, like we all came from small homes and small everything. I lived in a little 1,000 square foot condo for a while. Dennis lived in a 800 square foot apartment for a while. We all came from the smaller things, and thanks to the success of the school, and then we went out of business twice, right? And so we have struggled and worked very hard for the last few years to get to somewhere else, and so we went through 126 houses before we found this one, and we used this realtor who was new, and once again David was trying to see someone who could use a little leg up, and they found this house. It was supposed to have a pool and spa, which don't work. And we moved in here, and the doors didn't work, the sink didn't work, the dishwasher was broken. I mean, you can't even imagine. This has been just a heartbreaking experience. It was advertised to have a spa. We wanted a place where we can all work together. We still have everything here, so everything, the area is the area. And, it's a great space for filming. It has what we wanted. But let me tell you, it's been very disappointing. My very next podcast is going to be about the whole Vegas, moving to Vegas, being part of this environment. I will tell you, man, the things to look out for and the questions to ask in this day and age, the things that you don't know to ask. Because I assume, honestly, that not everybody's out there to screw everybody. And we tried to find a property management company who had decent ratings, and it's just been, it's been amazing. But anyways, we're working on it with our attorney. If you ever see Farinash Realty, dude, run. Absolutely, whatever you do, run the other way. Do not enter into any deal.
Anyways.
But all right, moving on.
Can't talk about that too much.
We'll talk about that later.
So David asks, is it possible to break in without having any prior training like CG or any other school? Mm-hmm. And how much more likely is it to get hired by a casino if you've completed prior training?
That's a great question. So I do know some people who have gotten hired in really basic blackjack jobs. So there are casinos that are just so desperate. They'll put you through this sort of quick introductory type of thing at their own property. Especially for those of you who are at a market, if you're in a market where they don't have any dealer schools, most of the time One of the casinos somewhere in that vicinity does the training. All you gotta do is figure it out. So go to the casino, say, hey, how do you guys get new dealers? Because they're not importing dealers. People aren't moving there to be dealers. They're training them somewhere. I know when Arizona first opened, there really wasn't a lot of they trained literally on the job training. It's very possible. I will say this: if you do get trained to deal a game at a casino, their incentive is to train you their way, for their property, so that you stay there forever. I mean, they don't have any incentive to train you, so you're like this fantastic dealer that can find the next best job when it's available. So a lot of times people will that's great to get in the door, but then it can be tough moving on to another property. Not to mention the fact that you end up with less games potentially. The chances of getting a job having gone through a school like ours is damn near 100%. I mean, the only people that don't get jobs through us are people that either don't want a job or move on to other things. We had a guy recently that we put so much effort into finally, and he was learning a little slowly. We finally got him an audition. He passed the audition. They offered him a job, and he decided to leave Vegas. So like those kinds of things, we can't account for. But for the most part, we've had tremendous success. By the way, I want to tell, so everybody that's watching now, you should know that we have on CEG, we have a path up. And we have the story in the can. We interviewed this young man. I want to share this with you because he just started the other day. And so him and his mom are from Ukraine. His mother came to the school about 3 months ago, almost exactly 3 months ago. I had no idea she was from Ukraine. She signed up to learn and refresh at the school. She had been a dealer many years ago, back in the 90s, and she's been displaced obviously because of what's going on over there. So she comes to the school. She has a work permit, and she's interested. We see right away that she has great skills. You could tell she was a very good dealer, but she has to learn. Vegas is different. Europe actually deals blackjack. They don't have a whole card. There's lots of little discrepancies that have to change when you come to our school. And by the way, if you're from Europe or you're from somewhere else, we can train you for Vegas. We understand kind of the things that you were taught, and we can kind of evolve you from there. But so she comes to our school, and she doesn't speak her English is not very good. So a couple days later, her son is there, and typically it's students only at the school. Like the school is sort of full. We don't like a lot of guests and a lot of other people interacting with the students. They're there to train. They're it's a serious school. We're trying to get everyone certified and get them jobs. And but he's there because he's trying to help with the English, and so she can understand the English. And they have no money. They're here on a special visa. They have no money. They're living in a home with 10 of them in this small home. And so we gave him a full scholarship to the school so that he could be there with his mom, and then the both of them could graduate and get a job. And so it took him a little bit to get a work permit, but he did. And his mom we got her a job at the Mirage. We got her a job at the Mirage. I'll just it is what it is. And then we got him a job, and then almost very quickly I got him a better job, and now these two are both making a very good wage and a very good living, and all with your help, with our help, we were able to make quite a significant difference in their life. And if any of you out there are film directors or documentaries or anything else, if you think any of these stories are so cool, the life stories of people going through life and coming from our school. We have a guy right now. You may hear him tell his story. He came here from New York. He's already on his third job. He's at the Venetian now. His fourth job, I think, maybe the fourth job. He's already at the Venetian making a real wage, a really good, like 80 grand. You know what I mean? So, there's a lot of people that come up, and there's always some skepticism. I understand that completely. It almost seems too good to be true, but it's not. There's a lot of great opportunity right now. The casinos are doing very well at the expense of some players. That's the thing. But it's quite something. So thank you guys very much. Just know that we're working hard to make it all work for everyone else. So there's that. All right, what else you got?
Someone asked who actually lives in the house. David, I, and Nick. That's the answer so
Yeah,
far.
so I have a house, another home in another area of town. It's kind of far, and that was the thing for me so I bought this house because it's all I could afford at the time. I sold my condo. I split it between Casino Quest and buying this. I bought a home in Aliante. It's a far north neighborhood, and it's like a 40-minute commute every day, which is, for Vegas, it's pretty far. So I would lose 2 hours commuting every day. This house, because we can just wake up, roll out of bed, and film and get everything done. I have all this extra time, and let me tell you, it's added to our quality of life. We're back to going to the gym. I've been able to lose a little weight lately, thank you. So yeah, good stuff. All right, what else?
Tony G gave us 13.99 Canadian.
Tony G, wow, a lot of Canadians, no? Is it the same Canadian? Is it one Canadian, or is there more than one Canadian? What's going on?
Well, we have some Canadian.
We have some Canadian,
but it's the same one from earlier.
Because you guys know I would move to Canada. We're all gonna have to move to Canada eventually, dude, because it'd be too hot to live down here.
Oh my god! But yeah, it's the same person from earlier.
Oh, it is it. Thank you, sir.
Said, how long did you work at CEG as an employee until you decided to be a business partner with Alex, and how did you approach him for being business partners?
Ready? You ready, guys? Okay. I share. So it's a really good story. You ready? I was a business planner for as long as I was a dealer, and when I retired, I semi-retired. I made some money, collected some money. I was able to semi-retire. Not wealthy, by the way. Nothing like this. On a very modest sort of. I had to downsize. I had to sell this nice car. I bought this little condo. And I was able to get my expenses down. My house ended up being paid for. My car was paid for. I got my expenses really low. And I really wanted to chill for a while. I was, if those of you who have followed my life a little bit, I've shared my story. We have that on Patreon. It hasn't been an easy life, let me tell you. So I was looking to take a few years under the radar and not deal or interact with a lot of people. And so, but I went to the school. I got so bored, I couldn't stand it at home anymore. I had to get the hell out the house. And so that's why I wanted to be a dealer a couple days a week. So I'm at the school one day, and I'm watching this whole interaction with Alex. There was a student that came in. He was about to audition, and his shirt was wrinkled. He came in, his shirt was wrinkled, and he needs to go audition for a job. Alex pulls out, actually Alex goes to the store, buys an iron and an ironing board, brings it back, and has this man take off his shirt and irons this shirt right there, and then sends him on the way to help him get a job. Now, the other thing that was really interesting was that Alex had this entire thing built with all pictures of all the people he got jobs for. First of all, the school wasn't doing very well, okay? But Alex didn't seem to care. Alex was getting people jobs. That's all he talked about, is I get people jobs. And eventually it's going to work out. One of these days it's going to work out. This is what I know I can do well, and he is good. By the way, Alex is a very good teacher. His mechanics are fantastic when it comes to understanding how to deal. He's really a fantastically gifted teacher. His mechanics are fantastic. And I knew that after the work that he didn't put in a whole lot of work for me getting a job, but I felt like these are the kinds of people that are owed something. You know what I mean? Even if the reward doesn't come, I wanted to do something for him, and I expected nothing from it, to be honest with you. I put together a list of things that I felt could be helpful in evolving the CEG brand, in sort of upgrading the environment and things like this. And he was skeptical. I mean, he brought in his mom to look at it, and I sat down with his mom at one point, and I was like, listen, I've been a business planner. I honestly don't want anything. I just want to help if I can. And these are a few things, and they weren't big things. They were little things that I thought I could do in my spare time. And I fell in love with the school. I have to tell you, watching people, I could not find a place in my life. I felt like I lacked passion when I was younger. There wasn't a thing that I gravitated towards. It wasn't like I didn't want to be a policeman. I didn't want to be a firefighter. I didn't want to be like I wasn't very creative, so I couldn't be like an artist, And so for me, being a dealer was very transformative. It was also transformative at an important part of my life where I was trying to raise a son, and have this other life. And so I was also left out of all the good jobs. Like, if you wonder why I had 13 other jobs, it's because no one wanted to see me. I got one break at the Rio, and I was able to pick up jobs like in Louisiana and things like this because they were desperate for employees. But I never knew people. I'll walk into casino after I walked into Caesar's Palace and told I was basically laughed at. I walked into Trop, and this guy's like, dude, listen, I can't get you a job. He auditioned me. That guy finally auditioned me. He's like, you're a great dealer. He had a clipboard in the pit. So one of my dream jobs was the Mirage. 3 dream jobs I had was the Mirage, Caesar's Palace, or the Trop. Those are the 3 jobs I wanted. And this was way back in the day, by the way. The Trop, not so much a job right now. But I go into the Tropicana week after week after week trying to audition at the Tropicana, and every time the guy's like, dude, I can't audition you. I can't put you on a table. I can't put you on a table. Finally, he puts me on a table, and it's literally green and black. It's green and black action. It's a fantastic game. I knock it out the park. He pulls me over, and he says, you know what, dude? You're a fantastic dealer. I can't hire you. He goes over to the pit and he turns over a clipboard. On the back of the clipboard is this handwritten list of people that have juice. That's literally a list of names. I couldn't believe it. He's like, you see all these people on this list? I have to hire them first. I'm waiting for them to show up. I don't even know if they can deal. That's it. That's how it worked. He's like, listen, if one of these names shows up, I got to hire them. Because that's how it was. It was all juice. And the jobs that said that it was, the good jobs that said they didn't do juice were full of it. And so I didn't get a break, We are that break now because of you guys. We are literally that break now. And I don't mean that in any other way. I mean that as an absolute thing. If you're a good dealer, if you become a good dealer and you have some personality, I can help you. I will open the door for you. I don't even have to like you. I mean, I have someone right now who I think is a little, great personality. I don't know how to explain it. You don't get along with everybody, but basically he came up to me the other day and he's like, can you help me get a job? Because he thought that maybe I didn't like it. I'm like, dude, I don't need to like you. If you're a good dealer and you have the right personality, I will open that door for you because I promise you that's how I wanted to be treated when I was younger, and that's what we do. Swear to God, that's just how we do. I had a lady the other day come in and offer me $2,000 for an audition at a casino that I have relationships with. By the way, me and Alex, we know everybody now. We literally know everybody now. I went from having the 0 juice to all the juice. You know what I mean? And we don't take advantage of that. We don't send lumps. And they know that, and that's why we were connected, because the casinos that we work with, whatever level of casino you're at, I'm going to send you the best possible person. I don't just send someone over there and say, suck it up, give this person a try. I'm going to send someone who I know is going to try, who is going to foot the bill, and is going to make it possible. The rest of it's all nonsense. So I had this woman the other day. She sits down with me, and she offers me $2,000 to get her an audition. And I don't need her to give me $2,000. I would love $2,000, and she's not going to pay me $2,000, but that's not how it works. We have never, me and Alex, taken a cent for a single audition. I know, I went off a little tangent, didn't I?
You did?
I went on a big tangent, but we have never taken a cent, just so you know. And we're always asked why we don't take money, because we're an employment agency, basically. We can take money. It would not be illegal for us to take money as a referral fee, but that's not fair, because now if I take your money, you could suck, and now it's my reputation and I don't want your money. I want you to be a good dealer, and I want to send you to the place that I know will be a good fit for you. That's it. Game over. All right, what else you got?
We have a couple more super chats. We have Derek, gave us $4.99. Says,
is that my Derek? Is that Jasmine Derek? Because he's offered me again to take me to Jasmine, and we still haven't been.
He says, shave Dennis's head, David. No. How about we shave yours?
He's due for a haircut, but not a shave. I don't think he'd ever shave. Would you ever shave it? I don't think he'd ever shave his head. I don't know if he'd look good in a shaved head.
Josh gave us $2. Says, Do you know how I could reserve a craps table?
All you gotta do is go on CasinoQuest.biz.
I think he means like at the casino.
Yeah, you gotta pay $500. You gotta if you go in. So some tables, some casinos, they will have a side limit. If you're willing to invest in the side, they'll give you a side reserve. A whole game, you gotta come at 10,000 or more, depending on the casino.
When you say $500, you mean like just one buy-in of
No,
500?
no.
Or
You got to
the
come
table?
with some money to play. $500 minimum table, and then they'll reserve it all day for you. If you're willing to play $500 minimum and come with the bankroll to fit that, casino's happy to help.
Joseph H. is not a super chat, but he does ask a good question. It says, "Hey, does CG work with out-of-state casinos?"
Yes.
You didn't even let me finish the
Go.
question, but okay.
What do you got? Hey, this is like a passive. We love Kane sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, you answered the question. There you go. I
Yeah.
guess that
Hey, I want while we have like a bunch of you guys here, and as this goes into the everybody, I'm gonna get back to the deal. We're in the business of getting dealers jobs, right? And when I started with Alex, and we became business partners because we both are a great fit. He's a great personality. He's a great teacher mechanic. I've become a better teacher. Teaching dice, I think I'm great at teaching dice. It's something I'm very passionate about. I've been a dice dealer a long time. I know dice. That's great. But my real skills is like sort of branding and communication and team leadership and all those things. Together we have done we've done a pretty amazing thing because we have gone from no money to sharing success with quite a few people. And we went out of business, and we risked everything. Like we didn't risk some of it, we risked all of it. When COVID shut down, we were completely out of business. We risked all of it, and there's no fallback. So if people wonder, how we had a contract once not too long ago with the casino who completely screwed us over, and we lost out on a ton of money because of one nefarious individual, and they were so stunned that we weren't willing to do business with them because we were losing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially. No one cares. No one should care. I don't care. And me and Alex don't care. If we can put gas on our cars and leave and go, and I get it. We want success. We want all of our employees to live well. But the rest of it is you got to move forward. The rest of it is absolute not. There are people that will try and pull you down and take away from your existence. But if you focus on the things that are true and right, that's the big game. That's the long road ahead. By us turning down that agreement and us giving away that money, has led to other things, has pushed us in other directions. And every time someone tries to get in front of us, the idiots that are posting about things that happened 10 years ago with Alex or me for 6 years ago, no one cares. Get over it. We're here to win, and we're here to have fun, and we're here to share in this experience. And have a positive way forward together. The rest of it is absolute nonsense. But anyways, what else you got, buddy? That's my rant. That's my David rant for the day. Dennis hates when I do this, by the way.
I just zone out, to be honest.
No, he just zones out. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. All right, what else we got? Ready? Are we moving on?
I think you
can we give something away? How many likes do we have?
Oh, we just got another super chat.
With Dylan Useful as in.
Let me read it to people, because if you just answer the question, everyone's like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, thank you.
LVD Jen gave us $5, says, once you break in and get some experience, will you dealing be as useful as in to move around within the company?
Yeah.
Not necessarily gaming related.
Oh yeah, 100%. So here's an interesting thing. If you go into on tables, lots of opportunity. There's so much respect for people. Listen to this. If you're a dealer at a casino, especially like, let's say an MGM Grand, I have friends of mine that have started as dealers, have moved into other hospitality areas, even back of the house. I know someone who went to school to be an accountant and became not the CFO, but some other thing, controller, I believe, something like this. As a table game director, you're dealing with conflict. Like, you're dealing with people who are losing money, who are drinking, having it. So you come across, let's not say all the time, but there are times when you come across conflict. You're learning how to manage issues and personalities, and you're also part of a team. And then having these skill set and understanding the games, how the money moves, how the cards moves, all the different dynamics, the fills, the credits, the contract play, all of these things are really good applied skills. When I used to be a coordinated campaign manager here in Las Vegas years ago, right? And I used to hire lots of people. And people would come to me and they would say, David, I have a poli-sci major. I'm a political science major. What can you do for me? And I'd be like, listen, can you hang this door knocker on a door? Can you get out there in 100-degree weather and hang this door knocker on a door? Because it's a get out the vote effort, and we're going to get out the vote. No one cares about your degree right now. We care about you doing the work. And that's how it is in a casino. If you're able to, and the work is literally table games. You're on the front line of interacting with customers, understanding customer protocols, understanding how to speak, have presence on the game. All of that translates. It translates to better conversations, to more confidence, conflict resolution, all these things that are very, very positive in almost any other role. What's interesting is if you look up a lot of these things that lead to success as an entrepreneur, success in lots of areas of business, you will find that those are staples of being a casino dealer, literally of being a casino dealer, and in many cases being a floor supervisor. You want to talk about being able to think on your feet and take responsibility and be proactive. A floor supervisor has to do that. Not all the time. Some of them are just standing back, giving you dirty looks if you're players. But a lot of times, if you'll see these floor supervisors who go out of their way to introduce themselves or out of their way to resolve issues, we've all seen the good ones and the bad ones, and the good ones absolutely move up in the casino. There's so many really fantastic stories of people literally running casinos or running hotel operations who started as table game dealers. In fact, Station Casinos I use it. They have a great example. They have one of their highest level executives start as a valet, went from valet to blackjack dealer, and is now literally a corporate VP. I mean, has spent this whole career. Fantastic career, having started literally as a parking cars. Casinos it's a good business, man. It really pulls out some of the best, really applied qualities. Yes, it's not necessarily book smarts. It's not. You're not learning a lot of theory, but you're learning how to interact with people. You're learning how to get things done. You're learning how to move things ahead, and with consequences. There's real money. There's money. There's attitude, there's ego, there's all these things that have to be managed. And if you're an entrepreneur, those are things that you're going to have to confront as an entrepreneur. How's that? Is that a good answer? Holy crap, that's a good answer. But what else you got? All right, what else you got? We got to have something else. Nothing?
We got a super chat from Patty.
Patty, hi Patty. Is this Patty in England? Yeah, I think it's in pounds, dude.
Yeah, it's 10 pounds.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
That's big, dude. That's like $20. That's big. I think it's 2-1 over there, huh?
He says, bring back the days of David bent over dealing to the postage notes. You guys made COVID horrible. See you guys in October.
By the way, great memories. Absolutely the most phenomenal memory. I'm going to share you guys a story from COVID because Patty, I know a lot of you guys were around there. Derek was there, Alan Toy. So there's one day we just got done with a meeting. Me and Alex get back from a meeting with our landlord at that school. We're moving, by the way, so the landlord can suck it. So the landlord collects millions of dollars from COVID money, and guess what? Guess how much CEG collected? $0. Can I do the zeros, you say? We're in no risk of going to jail for having bought a Ferrari with our COVID money because we got no COVID money. Later, after COVID, we got this grant that was finally issued to us for $10,000 because we're a damn school, and they were giving out these grants of $10,000 to schools that have been in business for 3 years, 5 years. I'm not sure what the hell it was. So we get zero money. Meanwhile, our landlord gets all this money, and it's supposed to go to like help defray missing out on a little rent from companies like ours that are literally forced out of business. Like we had to close, and we had customers like right to the very end. We were busy, and then of course we have no customers. We have to refund everybody. So anyways, we have about $300 in our bank account, so give or take $300 in our bank account, because we refunded all of our students. We gave everybody back their money. There was a couple schools that closed down and took all their money and said, screw it. But listen, COVID was hard. I know a lot of people, a lot of our students, people that come to our school, not everybody is like, independently wealthy. So a lot of these students, they really needed that investment in themselves to get a job. And so we stayed open and we refunded. And so, that's just the way it was. And so we meet with the landlord, and the landlord tells us, listen, if you guys don't come up with the money, we have loans, and we got loans out, we got bills to pay. So you got to pay. We got to work out a deal now for you guys to pay. And we worked out a deal to pay $1,500 a month, and then after those 3 months, the 3-month window that the government did, we had to pay the normal rent plus $500 every month going forward for the next, I don't know how many years. And we had $300 in our bank account. So we go on the table. So we get back, and me and Alex are sitting there, and we're like, well, what are we gonna do? So I had credit cards and I had some savings, and so we were basically just going through that. And I was like, well, screw it, we'll just come in some more money. And then we're like, well, what are we gonna do today? We're like, well, we're gonna go and do a dice. We had already done a couple of them, so we go and do the dice game, and we have how many subs? I think we only had like 8, maybe 1,000 subs, maybe 1,200 subs. I forget what it was. It wasn't many. We started really small, and you guys donated $1,000 in one of those games. One of those Post-it note crap games with me bent over with Alan Toy all the way up, and all you guys like yelling at your bets. It was the coolest thing. When that stream got over, what you missed was we were so excited, and we had joy on a whole nother level. You have no idea. We had no idea. So we only had like 1,000 people, and there was only like 30 people. I don't know, maybe 50 people in that stream with us dealing the game, something like that, right? I mean, you guys might remember better than me, but maybe 30, 40 people, something like this. And we couldn't believe it. Like, we had never heard of, Timmy was there, and Timmy had never heard of something where someone had raised. We literally got $1,000 in super chats. Were you there? No, you weren't there. No, were you there? We got $1,000 in super chats, and we weren't. I wouldn't say we were crying, but it was quite something to pay this bill from YouTube. Like, who would know that YouTube and we had people who wanted to see the school survive, or just, I guess, us survive. It was just a tremendous thing, and let me tell you, it gave us so much. Yeah, and then I got $300 for shaving my mustache, so that was a thing, you guys. That was fantastic. But I did have to shave my mustache. I was willing to shave everything. I mean, if the money was coming, I was really willing to shave it off. But it was fantastic. I don't think there's another channel. There's some channel there. I know that it's amazing. You go through these YouTube channels and people thank their fans, and rightfully so, right? But our actual business was saved by this group of people right here. Like, literally, we would not be here today. We would not have the success, the students, the delivery. All those things are really a product of you guys having paid our bills. I mean, literally paid our bills. And continuing to be here, the connections that we made, the visibility that we have, all that is translated from this channel. It's quite stunning, man. In many years ago, this was not possible. Like, those of us that are a little older, you couldn't have this kind of impact. You had to get lucky or fall into it or be better, I don't know, better looking. I'm not sure what all you needed to have. It's quite stunning. But anyways, all right. Yes. Okay. So here, back to the thing. Are you able to deal more than one casino? Yes, as long as it's not the same network. So you can't. He did shave. Yeah, he did shave. Yeah, Dennis is a little bit. Young people in their hair, dude. All that hair, dude. He's holding on to it for dear life. All right, some of these I'm missing. Thank you so much. For the donations. I don't even know. It got all scribbled in the thing. Yeah, you had to be on TV. That's right. Yeah, Ryan, you had to be on TV. You had to be in front of like this huge audience, or you had to have a magazine ad. I don't know, NFL ad, something like this. here you can make a real impact with this small little iPhone. You know what I'm saying? We got an iPhone running this thing, so it's pretty stunning. But all right, so let's get back to first. I'm going to give away a hat. Can you help me with this? I got Jet in the background too. Those of you who Jet's famous for the finishing off signal.
Jesus.
He can't finish this off right now. He's working on himself. Okay, every now and then he's got to do a little self improvement. All right, thank you again for that. All right, dinner time, Alan. We'll see you later, buddy. Good luck on that coin. Me and Alan got some coins coming in. But here's the thing. Look at this. I got this. What I think is a beautiful hat. I got this red CEG hat, which for this hat, it's one of my favorite colors. We have this. So we're gonna just give this hat away right now. If we get to a 100 likes, well, we're at 86, so that should be. Just hit that like button. Because I guess it helps us, so I'm told. But I do know this. This is true. But anyways, yeah, Snapper. I don't know if we have an orange hat yet, Bo. I got to tell you, those orange polos, I love them. I love them. We have the Tennessee orange polo at CEG, and of course, Snapper was the very first person to pick one up because it goes with the rest of his wardrobe. Derek, I'll hand deliver it at Jasmine, buddy. Okay, you get the reservation. I'll bring the damn hat. All right. Okay, as soon as Dennis gets down the boom, there it is. Look at that. Wow, you guys are fantastic. All right, are you on there? Can you do the spinny spin? All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I don't know. What are we talking about today? A dealer. Let's do the word. It would be dealer. We'll do dealer, and then. For those of you who are getting excited about being a dealer, we're going to give away. How do we lose people when we're giving away stuff? We actually lost. People said, screw it, I don't want the hat, I'm out. It's a free hat, dude. We mail it to you. We pay the shipping for free. I mean, how are we dropping, that's okay. All right, it's okay. All right, so we'll wait for a little bit. Oh, I love that Bam. Someone's name is Bam. Isn't that awesome? I love Bam.
Bam. Yep, everyone just keep telling.
All right, we're going to say we got skill and luck. We got a lot of you guys have been here forever, dude. Holy crap. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, we're losing more people. It's a free hat. Where are you going? It's a free hat. All right, we're doing the free hat giveaway, dude. You know how South Park, free hat. It's like a dude in jail.
How much South Park do you watch?
I watch too much South Park. All right, ready? Larry, let's call it a day. Let's quit there, okay? All right.
Are you doing it, Jet?
Or you can do it. Yeah.
Here. Since Jet's since Jet's rolling.
Yeah. You're getting finished up by Jet.
Stopped.
There you go.
Okay, pick a number.
From what number? 1 million. 1 million, dude.
1 through 10.
1 through 10. Number 1. As long as it's not Derek. Don't say it if
Matt.
it's Derek. Matt? Oh, that's allowed.
Burns.
So rigged.
Burns, Berens.
We know Matt Burns. His name is Matt Burns?
Well, I don't know how. If it's the same spelling, it might be someone else.
Oh, really? It might be a different one? Okay, well, anyways,
we
Matt
gotcha.
Burns, congratulations. It was totally rigged. Yeah.
At Matt Burns.
At Matt Burns. Okay, yeah. We're gonna text you or message you the details, but definitely provide. And you got to provide the right address. I don't know whose catfishing address is. Is that the right word, catfishing?
No. You know what happened? I figured it out. They forgot to put their apartment number.
Oh yeah. So make sure to put if you're in a unit or unit number, make sure to send us your unit number, so we can send it to you. But there you go. There's one hat out the door. It's a beautiful hat. I love the red hat. We don't have an orange hat yet, but I love the red hat. We also have this new white. What kind of?
I don't know if at the store we have a red hat though.
Well, it's gonna have to be this hat then. Congratulations. There he is. I just got a bunch of them in.
Did you really?
Yeah, a ton. Yeah, not a ton, but yeah, we love South Park. Yeah, Matt Barnes, admin. Oh yeah, there you go. Please, Matt, admin at Casino.
You're
Quest.
reading our own message.
I am. I'm reading my own message. I'm reading Jet's message because that's how I roll. All right, there was a super chat. It rolled off. There was a couple of them. So let's say hello and tell them what they want. It is rigged. Didn't want. Yeah, no, 100%, dude. 100%. I love Jasmine, by the way. I love that restaurant. I posted a great review for them. And they personally thanked me because I guess that they've had some tough goings too, by the way. You know, restaurants is kind of hit or miss in Vegas. A lot of people have a very foofy. I love that place. If you're ever here in Vegas, it's at Bellagio. It's still open. It looks over it's Matt Berens. Okay, different one. Okay, yeah. We have someone else on the channel, Matt Barnes.
Okay,
Yep.
so Derek Silva gave us another $4.99 just to
Yeah.
tell me to shave my hair.
Holy smokes, we're almost out of tickets. Someone just bought a ticket to Alex Can Ruin My Life.
We have
Better get on it.
LV DJ gave us another $5. Says, shave it. I'm not gonna say. He said shave it, Dennis. I'm gonna double dog dare you.
A double dog. Oh, and someone just said any way we can make.
I don't care.
Yeah, any chance you guys can make a different system for giveaways other than spamming? Yeah, no, 100%. I would like that. Is there any other way to do it besides the spamming?
Spamming is the easiest way to do it.
Spamming is easy, and you get a result. I
Plus,
don't know. I'm with you. Kinda.
Plus, when we did trivia, people got really mad because they felt like because on their
the
system.
trivia was rigged.
Oh,
yeah.
because on their system it looks like they came out first.
Yeah.
Even though on my end, the
Yeah.
person who answered.
So here's the thing. I met the interblock engineer working on a G2E bubble craps, and we got to talking for like 15 minutes, like literally the guy, or one of the guys. I'm sure there's more than a few. And he told me it's completely RNG. Like the actual mechanics of the dice moving and those jumping up is completely random. I was shooketh. I thought that was just an attraction, that the outcome of the dice, or even if it was an RNG, I thought that those dice would then just, through magnets or whatever the hell else they got going, were just there to really just show you what the outcome was, even if it was RNG under the hood, a random number generator. And he told me that they don't even have that. That's not even a thing. Those dice and the outcome of those dice are actually completely and utterly random. And I believe him. I mean, I know, so someone just said, right. I know. I honest to God, I thought that was, I literally asked him that exact question. Do those dice fall? Is that like a cosmetic thing? Because if you know that claw machine, not the one like the real claw that like Allen uses, like, some of those claws.
The slot claw.
The slot claw. That slot claw is completely rigged, by the way. It's not RNG. It's on a slot curve. I was watching a guy the other day outside at a downtown casino, and the machine was paying him like, I don't know, $3,000, and he hadn't even moved the thing, so he thought it was defective. He literally thought, well, David finally jumped. Only if you come with, buddy. Even then, I'm not going. I'm gonna watch you go. I'm gonna wave, and then that'll be it. Okay. So he's standing there, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's broken. He's not gonna get paid." And they're coming up and going, "No, it's you win. It doesn't matter what the claw does. You win." Really? I mean, because if you've seen that machine, it's got the balls with the money in it, and you grab a ball, and if it deposits it, you win that money, based on how much you invest in the machine. But it's completely. I mean, it's on a slot curve. It's not an RNG, or it's not a skill-based machine. Can you imagine a skill-based machine? You'd have some young, twitchy dude in there just racking up all the money balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, while the rest of us are just feeding it for good luck, I guess. But so the interblock machine, that those dice, even as funky as they move, are actually moving and bouncing. It's completely, utterly random. I was stunned. He was like, they wouldn't even, gaming wouldn't even let it be on the floor if that wasn't a thing. Like, grab all the balls you can, buddy. Yeah. We got plenty of people to finish you off. Oh, God, this terrible channel over here. Come on. All right, but anyways, All right, what else you got for me?
Nothing.
Is that it?
That's it.
It's just such a short day. We've only been going for an hour and 20. We're not even at the 90-minute mark, dude. We're only at 78 minutes. We gotta stall for time.
You don't have to stall for time. You can just end the video.
It's not like you need to change the rate of return. Yeah, that's true. I'll be honest with you. The interblock machines, the bubble craps ones, where you get to play your own dice.
The individual ones?
The individual ones, I absolutely love those. Skill-based pinball would be great. A video recording, a photography. So here's interesting. New giveaway another hat. I would love to have the answer. So casinos, their biggest issue with recording things nowadays is not so much the games themselves. It's absolutely not the games themselves. It's the people. They don't want they want the experience at casinos to be as private as possible, and they're very conscious of not having people who don't want to appear on other people's, so especially like higher end properties, they'll be like, absolutely, you cannot film high limit. They don't want you in the high limit unless you make a, you make a reservation, and then you go that way. But it's really not about the games. It's been a long time coming. Years ago, obviously cameras were much bigger. They took a bigger profile. Wow. But it's definitely changing. There are a few casinos now that let you go Cosmo. Oof. So there are some casinos now that let you take your phone. You can film. There's a lot of YouTubers out there. There's some of them that film, all the crazy nonsense on an everyday basis. So you'll see those. But there you go. All right. I think we're gonna call it. The throat's out. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this channel. I look forward to talking to you more next week. And what are we doing next week, buddy?
We'll figure it out.
I think I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to have to remind myself. But we're going to have a podcast next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Stay tuned. Take care. And goodbye. Off to Kino. 2 on wine. Bye. Thank you guys. And the truth is.
You got to click off the stream.
Oh, I got to do it?
It's
like
not
this?
going to magically do it by itself.